Good evening. It's Thursday, December 16th, and we're back with the stories making headlines today.
Our first story is about the return of the annual peach drop on New Year's Eve. The last peach drop was in 2018. CBS 46's Haley Mason has all the details.
We'll be packing into downtown Atlanta, ringing in the new year, and the peach drop returning after a 2-year hiatus because of the pandemic.
It all comes at a time when COVID cases are surging once again across the country. The CDC says early data shows Omicron cases in the U.S. are doubling about every 2 days.
It is the most transmissible virus of COVID that we had to deal with thus far.
Dr. Anthony Fauci says at this point there is no need for a variant-specific booster.
CBS 46's Haley Mason is live in underground Atlanta. And Haley, the city of Atlanta announcing big holiday events despite the COVID spreading.
Rick, and the New Year's Eve peach drop is one of Atlanta's biggest holiday events, and they're planning to bring in the crowds once again. It's a decades-old tradition, Rick, but it's been on hiatus for a couple years. I talked to the mayor and the owner of Underground Atlanta. They tell us they want people to wear face masks to stay safe. From painting the grounds to constructing the tower that will hold the 800-pound Georgia peach, teams at Underground Atlanta are gearing up for the return of the New Year's Eve peach drop. Headlining the big night, Atlanta rap group Goody Mob and R&B singer Ashanti. Underground Atlanta is planning to welcome about 60,000 guests for the event that's been an Atlanta staple for 30 years until it was canceled in 2018 for low attendance, and then the pandemic hit.
I completely misread the response we would get to canceling the peach drop.
We caught up with Mayor Bottoms, who's excited to bring the peach drop back, but urging safety with the rising Omicron COVID variant.
It is a bit less transmissible in outdoor spaces. So we're asking people, if you're going to be crowded near people, to please wear masks, especially if you are not vaccinated. Hopefully everyone who will enter these big crowds will be vaccinated.
Mask is absolutely required. We would also ask people to distance themselves.
Shanil Lalani is the new owner of Underground Atlanta. He plans to bring the peach out a week early for families and guests to see the 800-pound, 8-foot-tall and wide attraction.
We've been working on reactivating the property and how do we bring more people back to this property. So it's just pleasing to see that we're hosting the peach drop again at Underground, which has been hosted here for the last 30 years.
And the Underground team is working with the mayor's office as well as Live Nation events and vendors on this big peach drop event coming up in a couple weeks here. The mayor's office tells me they do not plan on canceling this event because of the pandemic. They're just asking that, again, people wear masks and be vaccinated. Reporting live at Underground Atlanta, Haley Mason, CBS 46 News.
So many excited for its return. Haley, thank you. Developing tonight, a teenager under arrest accused of raping another student at a Cobb County school. Investigators say the attack happened at McEachern High School last month. Warrants say 16-year-old Malachi Mpata slapped a 15-year-old girl, grabbed her throat, then took her into the boys' bathroom and allegedly raped her. We spoke to the suspect's neighbor.
You're supposed to feel safe when you go to school. You know, you shouldn't have things like that happen at school. And it's so unfortunate all around.
The Cobb County School District says that student is no longer enrolled at McEachern High.
New tonight, the nation's opioid overdose crisis is getting worse, and social media is playing a part. The DEA says drug traffickers have a new tool at their disposal with some deadly consequences. CBS 46's Megan Packer is live in Gwinnett County tonight with a look at the impact that this is all having on our area. Megan.
And Rick, here's a very visual impact for you here. An example, I'm standing among 233 lights, one for every life lost in Gwinnett County to an overdose over the past 2 years. And we are learning more today about an unfortunate way people are getting their hands on deadly drugs.
It's a devastating public health crisis.
The nation's opioid epidemic touches every corner of metro Atlanta, including Gwinnett County, where Farley Barge dedicates his life to helping people battling addiction. He and his wife started Navigate Recovery Gwinnett.
Really affects us all. And it's a great tax burden on us, and it's a great human burden on us as well because of the lives that we've lost.
Among their services, offering classes on administering Narcan, which can reverse the effects of an opioid overdose. Their organization put up 233 lights in front of their Lawrenceville offices, representing the 116 overdose deaths in Gwinnett County in 2020 and the 117 so far this year. Many of them linked to the deadly synthetic opioid fentanyl, found mixed in with more and more drugs, including pills sold online.
Criminal drug traffickers have found a new tool to pump poison into our communities.
DEA Administrator Ann Milgram warns traffickers are turning to social media to sell counterfeit pills. People of all ages think they're buying legitimate oxycodone, for example, but they get a potentially deadly dose of fentanyl. In a recent nationwide operation, DEA seized more than 8 million fake pills and 1,500 pounds of fentanyl.
When you open Snapchat, when you open Facebook, when you open Instagram, when you open TikTok, when you open YouTube, the drug traffickers and the criminal networks are there waiting for you.
If you're experimenting or you're young and you feel invincible and you're out there and you say, yeah, I just want to try this, it only takes one mistake.
And the DEA says they have seized enough fentanyl this year to kill every American. Here at Navigate Recovery Gwinnett, they are part of a countywide working group to tackle mental health and addiction and recovery issues to try to get ahead of this issue. We are live in Lawrenceville tonight. I'm Megan Packer, CBS 46 News.
Megan, thank you very much. New details tonight, and the family of a man killed in an ambulance crash is now suing the operator and the crew. Troopers say the driver, Kevin McCorvey, was under the influence when he wrecked the ambulance in Fairburn last month. A patient in the back, 66-year-old Wilton Thomason Jr., was killed. The victim's children have now sued McCorvey, his partner, and the ambulance company, Prime Care EMS.
I hope all is going well with your newborn. I had a child around the same time you guys did, and I just hope everything is going good.
That is a Georgia UPS driver delivering some kindness this season. This small gesture recorded on a Roswell family's Ring camera.
Very nice, and that kindness now turning into a holiday miracle. CBS 46's Mary Smith has the heartfelt story that you've got to hear.
If this is the It's a Boy house who had I forget the name of the bird. I hope all is going well with your newborn. I had a child around the same time you guys did, and I just hope everything is going good. God bless. Happy holidays.
It was a gesture lasting less than 20 seconds that Jessica Kitchell says came right when she needed it, exhausted with her newborn baby boy.
So I just played it back and saw his message and was like completely blown away by it. I think I needed it the most in that moment, just encouragement.
She posted the video on social media, where it quickly was shared, reaching nearly 60,000 views. Days later, they finally met.
Chancy and Miss Kitchell.
Oh, nice to meet you guys.
What's up, man?
Hey.
Good to meet you.
Jessica.
I just was so excited to talk to him and just thank him for what his message meant to me.
But that meeting was just the beginning. Since the UPS employee Dallin Harrell just had a baby boy himself, Kitchell wanted to thank him for his kindness.
So I asked him if he had a baby registry that he could share with us. And him and his fiance had not had a baby shower.
She posted his registry links online, and almost everything Harrell and his fiance needed for their son has been gifted to them, mostly by people they don't even know.
Complete strangers. I wouldn't know them from a can of paint. Just God's vessels.
He says he also received a promotion at work.
My life kind of turned around and just changed overnight.
But the biggest gift, they both say, is a friendship they've formed that all started with less than 20 seconds of compassion.
Just, I don't want it to be a one-time deal. Not a season for sure, a lifetime.
It's just so easy right now to focus on what isn't going right. And the fact that we all got to see somebody just take a second of their day and show an easy act of kindness, that really meant a lot.
In Roswell, Mary Smith, CBS 46 News.
Very nice.
The Morehouse School of Medicine is responding after students failed to get checks for more than $6,000. That money was supposed to help students address increasing costs for housing, food, and transportation. But the financial promise got pushed back from the U.S. Department of Education over concerns that the costs may not be covered under the COVID-19 CARES Act. In turn, Morehouse is asked to hold off on distributing the money until January.
So that raised, I shouldn't say concern, but it raised a question to the Department of Education. We did not break our promise.
It was supposed to be no strings attached, whatever need you may have.
Morehouse says the Department of Education will now require students to fill out a CARES Act emergency application form to receive the money. The school says they've already started processing more than 80 applications just since yesterday. Now, new at 6 for many of us, gift cards, they're really kind of a go-to. And when you don't know what someone wants, right? You give them a gift card for the holidays.
That's right. They're easy to get. Yeah. People can buy whatever they want. So the Federal Trade Commission tells us, though, that our national investigative team, that gift cards top the list for scammers, too.
The FTC says people have reported losing nearly $245 million to scams since 2018. Sandra Jones has your holiday warning.
According to retail experts, gift card spending is expected to jump by 27% this year because of the ongoing supply chain issues and product shortages. But the Federal Trade Commission says about 1 in 4 people have reported losing money to scammers after purchasing gift cards.
A lot of times, like, these people are professionals, right? I mean, it's what they do for a living, 8 hours a day. Their whole goal is to scam people.
Mark Labriola found out the hard way that you can't trust anyone who asks you to pay with a gift card. While trying to advertise his business, Labriola got locked out of his social media account. He Googled the number for customer support and reached who he thought was a company rep on the other end of the call.
They said, hey, we need to make sure that you are who you say you are. And the only way you can do that is if you go purchase some gift cards. And then we can verify, oh, those are purchased in your location. And then we can, unlock your account.
Labriola said he purchased 1 set of gift cards, then called the company. A rep told him to buy more and that the gift cards needed to be in a 4-pack. Well, he did and called back a 3rd time, giving the rep the PIN numbers on the back of the cards. Then it hit him.
And I was like, oh crap, I just got scammed. And they tried calling me back and I denied the call. And then I instantly was trying to call the gift card, company to be like, hey, and they're like, oh, sorry, all these gift cards have been zeroed out. There's nothing that we can do.
Labriola said he lost hundreds of dollars that day. The FTC says people have reported losing a total of nearly $245 million since 2018. With that in mind, scamspotter.org, an online consumer advocacy organization, wants you to follow these tips to avoid getting taken by sophisticated gift card scammers. First, slow it down. Scammers often create a sense of urgency so that they can bypass your better instincts. Take your time. Spot check. Do your research to double check the details you're getting. And stop. Don't send. Often fraudsters tell you to go buy gift cards, which are meant only to be given as a gift, not as payment under a threat. The Federal Trade Commission says if you paid someone with a gift card by giving them the numbers on the back of the card, keep the card and your receipt and report it to the card issuer right away. Then report it to the FTC at reportfraud.ftc.gov. With this consumer crackdown, I'm Sandra Jones.
A crime alert tonight, a nonprofit robbed of Christmas gifts meant for local school kids. The Butler Community Development Center says the thieves recently broke in and took toys, coats, gift cards, and more.
Why would people steal toys from children, essentially, and coats? And these kids really need coats. We're a nonprofit. We've been downtown for almost 100 years. So to steal from an organization whose sole purpose is to help underserved kids and families, we can't make any sense out of it at all.
No, there is no sense to be made of it. Many of the items were meant for children at St. John's Invictus Academy. The center already went out and rebought everything that was taken.
To a developing story, a teenager is arrested for raping a high school student, and it all happened on campus.
Investigators say the attack happened almost a month ago at McEachern High School. That's in Cobb County. CBS 46's Adam Murphy live outside the school with the very latest on this disturbing story, Adam.
It definitely is disturbing, Rick. It happened, of course, last month, as you mentioned, in November. According to the criminal arrest warrant, it happened in a boys' restroom right here on campus. On a day when students focused on final exams at McEachern High School in Cobb County.
Stunned. I mean, 100%.
The community focused on the arrest of a 16-year-old student charged with rape.
He watches the kids without his mother even asking. I mean, I've seen him around children. He's been in my house. I mean, he's going to school. He said he wants to be a doctor. It's stunning.
The criminal warrant states that in November, Malachi Impata took a 15-year-old student to an area of the school where there are no cameras. After slapping her, he reportedly grabbed her throat, called her a name, and took her into the boys' bathroom where he allegedly raped her. CBS 46 went to the boys' home, but no one answered the door. Neighbors across the street were stunned.
I'm shocked. I just can't believe what he's being accused of. He's just a very gentle, kind person. I've driven him to school before. I've been alone in the car with him, and he's always been very polite.
The Cobb County School District released this statement saying, quote, as soon as school administration was alerted, the school immediately reported the incident to Crimes Against Children and local authorities to continue the investigation.
You're supposed to feel safe when you go to school. You know, you shouldn't have things like that happen at school. And it's so unfortunate all around.
And Malachi's neighbors tell me they were so shocked by this, they initially thought that this may be a case of mistaken identity. But as it stands right now, that's not the case. We will continue to follow developments in this story. Live outside McEachern High School in Cobb County tonight, Adam Murphy, CBS 46 News.
Adam, thank you. Back to breaking news now. Northwest Atlanta, police are investigating a homicide. Alan Devlin just arrived at the scene near Anderson Park.
And Alan, you just got an interview with police. What have they told you?
Yes, absolutely. They just gave us an update here in regards to this homicide here. I want to step out of the way and show you the scene. You can see the crime tape directly behind me, but they said they found a woman's body back here in this wood line. This is at the corner of Tiger Flower Drive and Croasis Avenue. It's a pathway that goes down into Anderson Park. That is the area where this body was found. They say it's a 20 to 25-year-old woman whose body has just been removed from this area moments ago. They're not exactly sure how she was killed, and they do say that it's a possibility she was killed somewhere else and then transported here and left here. So the actual homicide may not have happened here in this area. Of course, a very active investigation. Police officers have been in and out of this trailway all evening here since this body was first found earlier. Now, I've been speaking to people in the area, people who live in this community who have been here for decades and decades. They say this is surprising. They say this is not something that happens often in this area. They were a little concerned, of course, considering, but even before then, they were pretty sure that they didn't think it would have happened here. It was just dropped here. Now, I'm going to go speak to some more of the people who live in this neighborhood. I'll give you an update in about an hour. Live from the Anderson Park, Alan Devlin, CBS 46 News.
Thank you, Alan. Breaking news now on the coronavirus vaccine. A CDC advisory panel is now recommending the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines over the Johnson & Johnson vaccine. This comes after dozens of people developed a very rare blood clot following their J&J vaccination.
Georgia has a new business coming to the state. Electric vehicle maker Rivian will build a $5 billion factory east of Atlanta.
CBS 46's Crystal Bowie was at the announcement today, and she joins us now to explain the new business partnership. The governor very excited about this news, Crystal.
He was, Rick and Tracy. In fact, we got to have a look at the truck. I do want to show it to you right here. You will see the truck is sitting over here, and some of the people from the company actually told us if you look inside the hood right here, there's not an engine because it is electric. There's actually 4 motors that contribute to this very big truck. Now, the automaker factory that is coming to the state will be housed in Stanton Springs with the goal of bringing 7,500 new jobs to Georgia. Now, Rivian gave an estimate alongside the state that it will have the capacity to produce 400,000 electric vehicles here in Georgia every year. Now, the plant is expected to be 13 million square feet. And a few details about the company. Now, their first models, as you just saw, are this pickup truck that you see in the video, showcased, and also coming up an SUV meant for off-roading. It's a little bit different than the Tesla models that we're used to seeing, which is focused on selling cars and crossovers. Now, after being founded, this company in 2009, the electric truck maker company began in California and is backed by Amazon and Ford. And of course, as you mentioned, Governor Kemp, very excited about this deal.
They could get to the market very quickly. That was one of the demands that the company had, to be able to compete and be one of the first companies to the market. And we can deliver that with this site, and that's one of the reasons they chose Georgia.
And here's the look on the other end of the truck over here. I just want to show you, since we just showed you the very front. Now, as of November, though, some financial reports did say they are producing the trucks, but they haven't sold anything yet. Even despite that, though, this company made its IPO on the stock market, valued very incredibly high as an up-and-coming startup. Of course, we'll be following this business development. Reporting live in Atlanta tonight, Crystal Bowie, CBS 46 News.
The family of a man killed in a Fairburn ambulance crash is suing. Winston Thomason was in the back of an ambulance last month when the driver crashed. He was killed. The driver, Kevin McCorvey, later admitted to law enforcement that he was drinking while driving, also smoking pot, and also taking Adderall. He is now facing criminal charges. Thomason's family is filing a civil lawsuit against the driver, a second EMT in the ambulance, and the company Prime Care, which owns the vehicle.
It's hard in the grieving process when you're dealing with a crime, because it's like I have to step away from trying to grieve and heal to make sure that we seek justice for my father.
The family's attorney says they are determined to get to the bottom of how this happened. The table is set for another helping of our exclusive restaurant report card.
Our Adam Murphy dishes out the highs and lows this week from a delicious breakfast spot with a perfect house score.
Listen up, breakfast lovers. Boy, do I have a treat for you this week. We're at Hen Mother Cookhouse on Jones Bridge Road in Johns Creek. They've been around 4 years now, family owned and operated. And when you step inside, it's quaint, it's cozy, great atmosphere. And in the kitchen, everything made from scratch. And when I tell you people come here for their pancakes, take a look at this. They're one of a kind, literally a cake made in a pan. You won't find it anywhere else. And they have so many other great items on the menu I'll tell you about. But first, here's this week's Best and Worst Scores. Just off West Pike Street in the city of Lawrenceville, a popular Mexican restaurant failed to make the grade on its last routine health inspection. Hacienda Bar and Grill in Gwinnett County scored 67 points and a U for unsatisfactory. The report says containers of salsa were stored uncovered in the cooler. Plus, there was a mold-like substance in the ice machine and on drink nozzles. And an employee handled raw chicken and then tortillas without changing gloves. You guys know you got to change gloves and wash hands, right?
Yes, we do.
So what happened here?
I wasn't here the other day. So
The manager told us his team dropped the ball the day of the inspection, which is unusual for a place with a history of good scores. If you want to point out some of the improvements, by all means, we'll be happy to show it.
Of course.
Okay. The manager took us into the kitchen to show us how they'd cleaned up their act.
Everything is on the label.
And made sure everything was back in order. Have you corrected these violations?
Yeah, everything is under control right now.
Now to some other scores. In Cobb County, Moxie Burger on Shallowford Road in Marietta scored 93 points. In DeKalb County, King's Southern Delight on Redan Road in Stone Mountain picked up 95 points. And in Fulton County, Steam House Lounge on West Peachtree Street in Atlanta earned 97 points. And back here at Hen Mother Cookhouse on Jones Bridge Road in Johns Creek, they received a 100 on their last health inspection. Make that 3 in a row. Congratulations, they are the winner of this week's Golden Spatula Award. Let's get right to it. The pancakes, you gotta try those. Look at the size of that omelet with the homemade biscuit, chicken and waffles, the French toast, the avocado toast. Over here, the market hash with the eggs sunny side up, and they tell me that BLT with sweet potato fries is really good. All right, you know what I'm going with? Gotta try the pancakes, and you know what? They're to die for, I'm told. We'll see you guys next week. Boy, that's good.
History is made in Atlanta today. Atlanta Rescue Fire Rescue officials broke ground on the first EMS-only station in the city. It's located on Campbellton Road near County Line Road. Fire officials say at least 85% of calls received are EMS related. They say establishing an EMS-only station, well, that would allow for the area to have appropriate coverage within the city. Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms called the station a goal she has been personally pushing for since her days on city council.
For this community that has stuck with Atlanta, oftentimes when it has appeared that we have not stuck with a community, I am just so grateful and so very thankful to see that this project is taking shape.
Once finished, station number 37, as it'll be officially known, will also help provide state-of-the-art medical care to people in Southwest Atlanta.
Metro Atlanta animals looking for a forever home have new temporary shelter. Today, officials broke ground on a new $38 million animal shelter on Fulton Industrial Boulevard near the Fulton County Airport. The 50,000 square foot building replaces a much smaller one that's been in use since the 70s. The new shelter is expected to open in early 2023.
Next, thousands of Metro Atlanta families were able to take home presents to put under the Christmas tree this year.
And it's all because of the Salvation Army's Angel Tree program. Our Brooks Baptiste takes us to the distribution center where cars lined up for toys and goodies.
It's a lot of work, a lot of work.
Yeah, but it's a day Santa's helpers have been looking forward to for quite some time.
It is just so worth it just seeing the families come and receive their gifts and just be joyful for them.
With the help of many donations, the Salvation Army of Metro Atlanta was able to distribute more than 7,000 bags of presents to children and seniors so that they'll have something to unwrap on Christmas morning.
It has been amazing what we have received this year, and we just really appreciate each and every person that has helped us help someone have a Christmas.
From bikes and tablets to TVs and LOL dolls, the warehouse was full of goodies. Volunteers like Dion Burton working for hours to ensure every bag made it into a car.
To know that there's someone out there that's willing to give back to them, it kind of gives you a sense of family.
So for the Angels, who've had that one thing on their Christmas list all year long,
I hope the kids, they feel joy. They know that they're loved even by complete strangers. You know what the holiday season's about.
In Atlanta, Brooks Baptiste, CBS 46 News.
Thanks for watching CBS 46 News. Watch us live wherever you are, our mobile and our streaming news app. You can also watch us on Roku, Apple TV, and Fire TV.